Whose idea is this to have an NWA angle?
Okay. The truth, we tell the truth here, right?
I can handle the truth.
The truth is, at that time, the booking committee consisted of myself, Vince McMahon, and Jim Cornette. This was the early movement of the Attitude Era. And in those creative booking sessions, myself and Vince McMahon were going one way, which was really the start of the Attitude Era. Jim Cornette was still in his roots, you know, still the old traditional school wrestling. So to be honest with you, there were a couple of things going through my mind at this time, and I'm shooting straight and being totally honest. Number one, I really wanted to make Jim happy. And I knew if we did an NWA angle with Jarrett and Wyndham and rock and roll, I knew Jim would be in all his glory. I knew that would make him happy. However, I had an ulterior motive, and I'm going to be completely honest. I knew it wasn't going to work. So with me, it would have killed two birds with one stone. It would have made Jim happy. It would have appeased Jim. And it was my way of showing Jim, I'm happy to try this. We can do this. But I'm telling you, it's 1998 and this is not going to work. Because in my mind, if Jim saw the crowd response with the angle and that old school style traditional wrestling, and he saw it and heard it with his own ears, then maybe he would kind of understand, you know, more or less where I was coming from and where Vince was coming from at the time. So it was designed for a reason, and those were really the two reasons.
Well, what's the resultant discussion with Jim when it doesn't go over?
Well, you know, Jim's, you know, he's just the kind of guy that he would not admit to it not going over. And he would also believe in his heart of hearts, he would honestly believe that in time it would have gotten over. But, you know, again, it's nothing against Jim. It's nothing against that style of wrestling. Let's face it. You know, the wrestling business got to that point based on that type of wrestling. And greats like the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, Barry Windham, greats like that. But this was a different time. And, you know, it just was not going to work in 1998.
Is this something that now Vince McMahon is willing to go along with for the same reasons you are, or is he just kind of saying, "Oh, look, you two guys work it out"? How involved is he in saying, "Okay, let's do an NWA thing"?
That's a good question. I mean, he didn't fight it. You know, and I think he was kind of on the same wavelength I was. We wanted to show Jim the proper respect, but we really had to take him, you know, dragging, kicking, screaming, punching, you know, into, you know, the year 2000. So I think Vince was looking at it the same exact way I was, where, listen, we're not going to sit here and argue with you. This style is not going to work in 1998, and we're willing to show you it's not going to work.
Is this a shoot?
Oh, absolutely. You can go back to the week before he started the NWA thing. This is probably an early episode in January '98. Oh, he like shot all over me on TV. You know, basically there's a Yankee in the office and this, that, and the other thing. I mean, right before the NWA. So, you know, again, this isn't Jim in particular, but this is the issue that I had with a lot of guys, you know, who fell under that umbrella. Jim had an opinion of what professional wrestling was still supposed to be in 1999. His opinion didn't matter. You know, nobody's opinion mattered. All that mattered is this is a business. You got to get as many eyeballs watching your product as possible.
Sure.
You sell more merch, you sell more house show tickets, you sell more pay-per-view buys, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, this was always one of the issues with Jim. This was his opinion, but it's not about opinion.
But is it okay in a way that he does this as a shoot on the air? Because we're in an era now, we're going towards the Attitude Era, where he may not realize it or not, but he's participating by doing this
Absolutely.
in your brand
Absolutely.
of wrestling and not.
Right, and not only that, what he really doesn't understand is, as more and more people are going with this, he's making himself look silly because, you know, with what he's talking about, he's kind of in the minority now. So it's, you know, but like I said, man, if it's good TV and he wants to go out there and shoot, then let him go out there and shoot.